Hey everyone, Hurricane Liz here, back for another questions of the week, all about Amazon and even some about Walmart. There was some really fantastic questions asked throughout the week, so I want to make sure I cover them. We've got stuff about KDP, we've got stuff about ads, we got stuff about Walmart, and we got stuff about merch. So I am super fired up for this video. Hopefully you're fired up. Let's go and do this. All right, so the first video comes from Alex, and Alex says, great video. The only issue is that by selecting the newest arrivals, you'll have to scroll through 3,000 listings until you find designs that sell, as thousands of designs are uploaded every day and there's no option to go to yesterday, for example. So Alex is referring to the tactic that I used in order to find brand new hot ideas for merch, which is the absolute best tactic I've ever found to find these hot ideas. And he doesn't want to have to scroll through the thousands and thousands. And I want you guys to pay very close attention to what I'm about to do, because it is the key to getting these ideas fairly easily and quickly, and it's a hack that I've never heard anybody talk about. And this will pay off handsomely if you do use it. So we go to merch research and we're just gonna hit search. We're not gonna hit any keyword at all. If you want to find a specific keyword and you're in a specific niche, then by all means enter a keyword. But I just want a general sense of what's selling with merch and merch only. So here we have the thousands of t-shirts that Alex is referring to. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that it has a never-ending supply of pages to go through. And he says, how do we get through all this crap when every single day people are loading thousands and thousands and more? And remember, we want to see the ones that are selling. So you're going to need this tool, DS Amazon Quick View, that I have up here. It's going to give you the quick and dirty information of what the BSR is for these particular t-shirts. So obviously you want to ignore stuff like Bugs Bunny, but here is the trick that you will use to scan through thousands and thousands of t-shirts. Let's say we're on page 1 and we literally want to go to a page that is way out there. So what we first want to do is we want to go down here, hit page 2. Right up here in the top, it says page equals 2. You could put whatever number you want there and it'll magically take you to that page. All right, so pay close attention, because what I'm about to do will pay off handsomely if you use this tactic, because most people are hitting the next button. So if we scroll down, we look at the bottom, there are several pages, right? But up here is the magic right here. You'll notice that right now I'm on page 79, and you might be asking yourself, like, Liz, did you really click through 79 times to get to page 79? And the answer is no. I just guessed at how much it would be when this ended. So I start out by putting 100, and when I put 100 or page 100, I notice that there is nothing here. So there's nothing. So that tells me that there's not more than 100 pages. So then I just picked the next most logical number, which would be like 80. And it's not the next most logical, it's just whatever I thought in my head. And there was nothing for 80. So then I just started to go down by 10. So if we go to 70, we'll notice that on 70, I got something. So I knew that it got capped anywhere between 70 and 80 pages. And the other thing that you want to pay attention to is how many shirts is that? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 shirts, and that's 4. And there's a total of 48 shirts on each page, which means 50 times, let's say 70 is like 3,500 shirts that were uploaded, or 3,500 shirts that Amazon considers new. Now, we really don't know what the true number is, because as I told you before, Amazon lies about these results, but we can see 70 pages now. In order to beat or one up your competition, just knowing that you can go through these pages manually instead of hitting the next button saves a lot of time. So I could literally end up on page 50 if I want to by just changing that and going to page 50. And again, I could do to page 40. I could do back to page 79, which I know is the cap. And I could have my team do the same thing to get all those ideas. So hopefully that helps you guys speed up the process of doing research, and or speeding up your team's process of doing research. And that's just a little quick and dirty hack in order to be a lot more effective and resourceful when it comes to sourcing the right t-shirts to make. So great question, Alex. All right, the next question comes from Joseph, and he says, I'll be releasing a fantasy novel in the fall. I plan on doing Amazon ads after I get several reviews. I've heard different ranges for how much you should bid. It's my ebook. It'll be $2.99 or $3.99. Is 15 cents a good bid, or do I need to go higher? Well, this really depends, Joseph, on the market itself. And you will not be able to tell that until you fire up some ads and you bid 15 and you see, is 15 cents bringing in any impressions, first of all. If it is not bringing in impressions, that means you got to raise the bid. If it's bringing in plenty of impressions, you just want to start and see what kind of data you get. Are you getting clicks onto the listing? Are you getting sales? And if not, that's how you begin to optimize. But it all starts with the bid amount, and then you see what the bid amount causes in terms of impressions. And then if you're getting impressions, fantastic. You can either stay there or raise the bid to see how many more impressions you get and so forth. Then you look at the click, then you look at the purchase, and that's how it goes. It's kind of like a ladder upwards to diagnose an ads problem, but it all starts with the bottom. Now, if you're not getting those impressions at first, then I would raise the bid. If you are getting impressions, I would just allow it to sit there for about 5 to 7 days to see what happens and see if up the ladder you get sales and so forth. So that's what I would look at, and that's what I would do when I first start a campaign for any particular niche. So next question is from Direwolf. Direwolf says, Liz, when do you recommend setting up ConvertKit right at the start? I'm asking because I wonder how to validate the idea. I wouldn't want to invest on monthly payments on an idea that hasn't proven itself to be profitable. What do you recommend? All right, Direwolf. So Direwolf is referring to when you start building a list for your Kindle books. Now, if your books are on the same niche, say for example, adult coloring book or children's activity books, then you should probably begin building a list immediately. It makes no sense to waste that traffic. It makes no sense to try and get people on a list if you are planning on building a long-term children's book business. But do not kick yourself if you have not started that. And the reason for that is that realize that once you do start building this list, you also have to start building engagement with that list. So if you're going to start building the list, be prepared to at least email those people once a week, no matter what size your list is, even if you've got 5 people on the list, even if you've got 5,000 people on the list. You have to make it a point to mail them every single week so they remember who you are and you're always fresh in their head. Offer them special services like Jade Summer, and heck, even if you got to sign up for Jade Summer's list and almost copy the emails that they send. Now, I'm not saying to copy them word for word, but I am saying start doing something very similar to what they're doing. And the other thing is ConvertKit is free when you have so many people on your list. So when you first start out, it's free. So you might as well get it started up immediately. That's my advice to you, Direwolf. Hopefully that helps. All right, Sonia says, thanks for the useful information. I would like to ask you this. I tried to get accepted to Merch by Amazon 4 months ago, but I didn't really try hard enough is what the sum of it's saying. The problem is that with my KDP account, I would like to try again, but once I enter, it gives me an immediate rejected message with the KDP account. Should I create another account for Merch, or is this against Amazon policies? So here is the deal. First and foremost, I never recommend you commingle or you mix all your Amazon accounts. If you've got an FBA account, a Merch account, and a KDP account, they all should be on separate Amazon accounts. And the reason for that is be thinking long term. What happens if you ever decide to sell any one of those brands and they're all stuck together? It can be very difficult to separate them. And also, Amazon already knows you got rejected on the last one, Sonia. So what I would do is start up an entirely separate Amazon account, and I would start applying with that. Now, with that being said, there are no rules about you not being able to sign up for Amazon Merch and Amazon KDP on the same email address. So the fact that you are getting rejected instantly, that's very interesting to me. If you really want to be safe, what I would do is get a VPN from a place like winity.io, which they can be as little as $7 per month. I would do that, and I would register for the Merch by Amazon account with that. See if I get approved. If not, obviously cancel the Winity account. But if you do get approved, then start logging in with that Winity account. But that's what I would do to be on the completely safe side. But I would just entirely open up a brand new Amazon account and try to apply through that. That's pretty much it. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. All right, the next question comes from George. I still have one question, Liz. Did your cat watch this video and did he give it a pause up or pause down? So obviously George is referring to this cat fight that we had, and that's perfectly fine. She gave it a pause up. She likes to watch me make all my videos, but boy, she hates when I talk about her, or she hates when I bring her on camera. So fortunately, it got a pause up, George. Thanks for the question. All right, next one comes from Norwood. It says, Liz, could you list all the software for us? And Norwood is referring to Walmart automation, the do-it-yourself method. If you're gonna do Walmart automation yourself, here is the list of software that I was told to get, and this is the list of software that my team uses. The first is Seller Active, and if you've seen me show the platform live here on the channel, there are a couple other alternatives to Seller Active. One that is looking very good called Ecom Circles, which I will be giving you guys more information about. I am beta testing it with my team, so I'll let you know more as they advance, and they are doing great things with that. So that's the thing that you get to run the business. The second things that you've got to get is a VPN, as I've already talked about, winity.io. You want to run the account on that VPN, so it always stays with that IP address, and your team uses that as well. And that's only if you have a team. If you don't, you don't need that. And then you've got to get ShipperBay and Blue Care Express to help you with the tracking information and be able to update your customers on where their package is at. And finally, you do need an Amazon Prime business account, and you need to let them know that you are reselling. And that's pretty much a list of all the software that I have been told to get and the software that my team uses in order to manage my Walmart automated store. All right, Brightside S asks, can you please create a Walmart seller account for me? Unfortunately, Brightside, I cannot do that, but let me just say this. I just listed the software that you would need for that. The only other things that you do need are an EIN, an LLC, a website of some sorts where you sell already. That could be Amazon, and it does help if you have a DUNS number, which you can get for free on their website. It just takes a couple days, sometimes a couple weeks to get that DUNS number to you, but with all that information, you should at least be able to apply for Walmart and get a response from them and find out whether you are accepted or you're not. Now, if you're not accepted, just read what they say and try and provide them extra information. Email them back, try and appeal that, and try and get accepted as many times as you have to. It is worth it. All right, so next question comes from the expert. It says, hello Liz, I have a question. For example, I target a cat coloring book niche. When I search, I find some related cat themes in the same niche. So what should I do? Collect the keywords from all of them, make one book, or create every book from the new theme I find? So this one, expert, it requires a little bit of extra thought. So for example, if you want to have a cat branded book type theme, the answer to this really depends on where you are in your KDP journey. If you're brand spanking new and you haven't found a niche that sticks, and what I mean by that is a niche that you're getting a lot of sales in, then yeah, I would certainly take every single little cat theme, try to blast it out there and see which one works and then conquer it. So it's kind of like the divide and conquer method. If you're brand new, throw out, spray and pray about 20 or 30 different books, see which one starts to get more sales, and then try to conquer that particular niche. But if you're a seasoned veteran and you're already making money in another mini niche, I would just hammer that other mini niche and conquer that before I go out there and spray and pray some more for some cat theme books. So that's how I would do it. And again, there is no right or wrong way, but that's kind of how I conquered the t-shirt niche, and that's kind of how I'm doing the KDP thing. I have found that there are certain niches that I just sell a lot of books in, and there's certain other areas where I'm just spraying and praying because I truly haven't found one that is really solid overall. All right, Bilbo is next up, and he asks, can you give us a suggestion to cross tier 10 with merch by Amazon? Absolutely, Bilbo. My number one method for crossing tier 10, and again, this really depends if right now Amazon is allowing people to cross, if you've heard of people being able to cross, but my number one method is buy the t-shirts yourself. And now I know for a lot of people this isn't the most economical way, and they certainly cannot do this. So for those people, I recommend tell everyone you know, friends, family, even people at work, tell them that you are now selling t-shirts, and if they need any specialized t-shirts made for them or any t-shirts that are personalized, customized, to let you know and sell it to them at cost. So what I'm talking about is, say you've got a girl that is getting married at your place of employment, tell her you will personalize every single shirt if she needs shirts for the bachelorette party, and you will give them to her at cost. What this does is this provides an opportunity for them to get something that they really want at your cost, and it tiers you out. Who cares that you don't make profit on those first few sales? The name of the game when you first start is getting tiered up and trying to get at least into the tier 500. If you can do that, you open a lot of slots up for yourself, and the potential for you to scale up quickly after that and make money starts to happen. So the most important thing again is tier up, even if you have to offer those first shirts at cost and you don't make a single dime on that sale. So remember, tell everyone, be the biggest loudmouth you can be at work, at home, and with your friends and family. All right, and that wraps it up for this video. So again, if you have questions and or comments, post them below. If they're pretty darn good and I think that they're great questions, I will ask them live on this video, and I will also expand on the answer. So until next time, take it easy and just do it.